Gikomba market raced down by an inferno for the second time in a month, with traders counting losses. Supporters of Governor Anne Waiguru and County-Woman Representative Wangui Ngirishi clash as Deputy President William Ruto tours Kirinyaga County. Bikers helped their own to have a motorbike procession for their wedding, out of what they could afford after a post by the groom on social media. Talk to us via social media platforms as Switch TV Kenya, Joel Chacha M on Twitter, as well on Facebook, Switch TV Kenya, and Joel Chacha can also text us on 111 444 111. And we begin with the newly identified COVID-19 variant dubbed Omicron being experienced in the European and some African countries. Governments around the world are scrambling to protect their citizens from a potential outbreak. So far in Kenya, no Omicron case has been detected and reported, as Sazamunga narrates.
The new coronavirus Omicron has been detected in 13 people who arrived in the Dutch capital Amsterdam on 2 flights from South Africa. It comes as tighter restrictions come into force in the Netherlands amid record COVID cases and concerns over the new variant. This includes early closing times for hospitality and cultural venues and limits on home gatherings. Omicron was first reported to the World Health Organization by South Africa, and early evidence suggests it has a higher reinfection risk. It has been categorized by the WHO as a variant of concern. South African Medical Association, SAMA, say that the new Omicron variant or coronavirus resulted in mild disease without prominent syndromes and slammed the hype around it as several countries imposed bans on flight from African countries. Dutch health authorities say at least 13 people who got tested at Amsterdam Schiphol Airport after traveling from South Africa on Friday have tested positive for the Omicron coronavirus variant. A number of countries have slammed their borders shut to travelers from South Africa, with the European Union, Japan, Australia, the United States, Canada and many others banning travelers from countries including South Africa, Botswana, Zimbabwe, Namibia, Lesotho, Eswatini, Mozambique and Malawi. Reporting for Switch TV, my name is Sazamunga.
On to other news, Kenya Meteorological Department has now warned of heavy rains in 32 counties in the next 24 hours that could possibly cause floods in some parts. The counties include Nairobi, Machakos, Kitui, Makueni, Kajiado, Tana River, Lamu, Garissa, Mandera, Wajir, Marsabit, Isiolo, Kiambu, Murang'a, Embu, Kirinyaga, Meru, Nyeri, Tharaka Nithi, Nyandarua, Laikipia, Samburu, Elgeyo Marakwet, West Pokot, Trans Nzoia, Uasin Gishu, Nyamira, Kisii, Narok, Nakuru and Migori. However, the Meteorological Department says the remaining counties of northeastern and northwestern and southeastern lowlands will generally remain dry, while strong southerly winds of over 12.5 meters per second are expected over parts of Turkana and the eastern half of the country. Barely 1 month after Gikomba market was on fire, yet again local traders are counting millions of shillings in losses as fire razed the market around 4 a.m. in the morning. Traders are now calling on the Nairobi's new governor Anne Kananu in liaison with the Nairobi Metropolitan Services to look for a permanent solution to their nightmare. Reporter Lemayan Letina tells us more.
The agony, the pain and the heart of traders here seems to be unending. For the second time now within the month of November, their properties have been burnt down and reduced to ashes. Despite heavy downpour, the fire broke out at around 4 a.m. in the morning and continued rising until 6 o'clock when the firefighters came to save the situation.
Mimi ni mfanyabiashara hapa. Moto ilianza mwendo wa saa 11, saa 10:30 hivi, lakini kiini haswa bado hatujajua, ila tu mazima moto ilichelewa kiasi, ndio ilianza kufika saa 11:30. Kwa hivyo hiyo ni saa 1 baadaye kama moto ishaanza.
The cause of the fire is not yet established, although traders here suspect that it was a well-planned arson plotted when people were still asleep and there was the distraction of the downpour.
Ilianza mwendo ya saa 10 na hiyo wakati ilikuwa na mvua. Sasa mvua ilikuwa inaendelea na moto ya Kikomba pia ilikuwa inaungua. Ndio maana sisi tukukuja tulipigiwa masimu na wenye tunafanya nao kukuja tukapata moto inaendelea tukakuja na mvua.
After the mysterious fire visited the open air market in the months of February and August this year, the government directed for the installation of security cameras, giving the contractor 7 days to complete the work to help end frequent fires at the market. 2 months later, same story, same place.
Ningeomba kama Mr. Mbadi na gavana huyu amechaguliwa juzi, anaweza kutusaidia waweke magari standby. Kama sio gari ziko standby, mimi naweza wa advise wawe na generator. Mto yuko hapa karibu, wanaingiza hizo water pump hapa, watu wanajipampia maji, wanajizimia wenyewe.
3 weeks ago, the Mitumba Consortium Association of Kenya MCAK challenged the national government and the Nairobi Metropolitan Services NMS to act on a long-term solution on rampant and frequent fire infernos.
Well, as you can see right behind me are men, women, and even kids dealing with the after effects of fire here at Gikomba Market. Remember, it's the 5th time in 2021 and the 2nd time in the month of November. Traders here dealing with fire. Question, what is the long-term solution to these fires? Lemayan Letina for Switch TV, Nairobi.
Thank you, Lema, for highlighting their plight. We now shift gears to matters politics. NC Party leader Musalia Mudavadi has faulted politicians ferrying their supporters with school buses. According to Mudavadi, those found culpable should face the full wrath of the law. Damaris Nyambura reports.
ANC party leader visited the areas of Uasin Gishu County today, where he talked on matters of free and fair election, saying voters should be given a chance to vote fairly.
Tushirikiane na makanisa yetu ili utulivu uwe katika taifa letu, na tena watu wawe na fikira bora.
Speaking during a service at St. Jude Catholic in Huruma, Musalia has condemned usage of school buses in private sectors in the country just a few days after CS Magoha addressed the issue. He has continued to say that most school buses are now being used to ferry people to political meetings, which is an offense according to the Ministry of Education.
Professor Magoha said school buses should not be used for private functions.
Addressing the matters of economy, Musalia says that Kenyans have been in tough times during the COVID-19 pandemic, and therefore there is no need to caution them by cutting down on taxation.
The level of unemployment is very serious. We are seeing a lot of confusion in the education sector. This year alone, those of you who are young parents, how many times have your children been in and out of school?
Reporting for Switch TV, my name is Damaris Nyambura.
Meanwhile, ODM party leader Raila Odinga has vowed to continue with his Azimio la Umoja initiative in the country before and after 2022 general elections. Raila, who was accompanied by his allies, was speaking during a Sunday service at Jesus Teaching Ministry Soweto in Embakasi East, Nairobi.
Na ndimi za uongo ambao wanakuja kudanganya vijana wetu, kina mama na watu wengine ili tuangamie vile Ahabu aliangamia. Lakini mimi naamini kwamba kupitia kwa maombi yenu, jinsi ambavyo mnazidi kutuombea nyinyi, tutaweza kuepuka lile janga ambalo watu wanajaribu kutuingiza ndani. Kuna pepo tayari alijitolea, akasema wacha mimi niingize hawa Kenya box. Hiyo pepo mnaijua, mtuombee.
We will give you laptops, but we are giving you wheelbarrows. Oh no, we promised Stadia, but Stadia to the international standards, but we've delivered none. Oh no, we still promise that we'll give you 4 million jobs, having failed to give the 1 million jobs. We do not need the oh no people. We need people around us who are the amen people, the yes people, the people who will speak healing into the sickness, people who will speak abundance into the lack, people who will speak victory into defeat, people who will speak freedom into the addiction, people who will speak and say that in 2022 every youth, every woman in this nation shall receive 6,000 Kenya shillings to help them.
Now 9 minutes past 7 p.m. we take a short commercial break. We'll be back with more. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Breaking Today. My name is Joel Church and our sign language interpreter is Teresia Washira. Moving forward and still a focus on matters politics, Deputy President William Ruto's visit to Kirinyaga County was received by rowdy youth from both supporters of Governor Anne Waiguru and County Woman Representative Wangoi Ngirishi after some set ablaze posters and jackets labeled Anne Waiguru. The supporters carried placards of their candidate of choice and they chanted slogans and names of the two leaders. Chepto Boit with the report.
The youth earlier on today set ablaze posters and jackets labelled Kirinyaga Governor Anne Waiguru outside All Saints SCK Kirinyaga Church in Kirinyaga County. Tension was palpable as hundreds of Governor Waiguru's and the women representative Purity Ngirishi supporters confronted each other along the Kirinyaga Kutus Road, which they blocked, giving police a hard time.
Na sisi hatutaki fujo, hatutaki matusi. Tumekubaliana. Kama umekubaliana na mimi nionyeshe na mkono. Keregaga itaendelea na keregaga tutafanya kazi. Kwa hivyo tunasema sisi sote tunafuata UDA.
This as Deputy President William Ruto arrived at the All Saint SCK Kirinyaga Church in a visit that has been marked by ugly scenes. The second in command has, however, called for peace among political leaders, even as they drum up for support for their political bids ahead of the 2022 polls.
Ebu kidogo, tafadhali. Ebu kidogo, wacheni fujo. Wacheni fujo kidogo. So, tulikubaliana ya kwamba next year kwa mapenzi ya Mungu kuna kazi lazima tufanye. Vile tulikubaliana ndani ya Big Four, next year priority yetu namba 1 ni priority ya kuweka pesa ya serikali, the first 100 billion kwa ajira ya hawa vijana wa Kenya.
Today's visit by Ruto is his fastest since Governor Anne Waiguru ditched the ruling party Jubilee for DP Ruto's UDA, a move that threatened to dim Ngirishi's shining star at the party, to whose establishment she says she contributed immensely. Chepto Boit, Switch TV.
Well, today being a weekend, we take this feel-good story. A Nairobi couple, Mark and Cynthia, decided to have a motorbike procession for their wedding, and this way was out of what they could afford. However, on Thursday, a post by the groom on social media expressing his desire won the heart of bikers. And as David Kagina reports, the couple had their wedding of the dream.
These are just bikes. But for a bike lover like Mike, this was his dream wedding convoy, a motorcade of bikes, and he put his desire towards on this post on Facebook. Luckily, it found its way to a biker's timeline, and sure enough, Mike had no idea that though 2 days away from walking down the aisle, his dream would see the light of day. Clavo Ching, also known as the chief priest among fellow bikers, took up the role of coordinating and mobilizing tens of bikers and riders who could not be stopped by the drizzling. They had committed to make Mark and have the dream day of their life.
We are grateful, and we wish the groom and the bride a happy marriage.
We really appreciate you so much. Mungu na wabariki sana. Let's keep on riding safe.
Hi, my name is Jacinda Gina. Thank you for making his dream come to pass today. It has really been his dream, and may God bless you. Thank you.
Officially appealing. An act of kindness by everyone every day would make this world a better place. David Kagina, Switch TV.
I still remember I promised my director Buga to take him to the shocker man, the guy who was shaving people with an axe, a story that was prepared by David Kagina. That is my promise on your wedding day, Abuga. On to other news, young entrepreneurs have been urged to embrace high levels of networking, as it is the only way they will grow their businesses out there. Speaking to CCTV Youth Director at the Kenya National Chamber of Commerce and Industrialization, Paul Mushiri, has urged youth to join the chamber in order to also benefit from advocacy and tips on expanding their businesses locally and internationally.
The Chamber of Commerce is really business people coming together, so that then they can articulate the concerns that they have as business people, that they can present themselves with the right opportunities, and find avenues to engage in business. In Kenya, we work very, very closely with the government for particularly advocacy matters, where we need to lobby the governments and different segments of the government. be it the county level, be it at the national level. We lobby governments for different issues. There are a lot of businesses that have done business with the government, that have engaged in transactions with the government. And one of the key things that you've heard, words that you've heard, is pending bills. As an individual business, it may be very difficult for you to unlock on your own. But through the chamber, we've been able to lobby with the government, with the different arms of the government, and even at the county level.
Nairobians have been urged to lead the way in watching Kenyan movies. In an era perceived to be so exposed to Hollywood movies, speaking to our reporter Brian Mwenda, filmmaker Kang'ethe Mungai has said that Nairobi is the ultimate gateway in changing the mindset of Kenyans towards Kenyan movies. Follow the conversation.
Of the many episodes and the many seasons you've done in different projects, do you think the Kenyan viewer is a little bit more exposed and it's translated to even the viewership that is given to these Kenyan films?
I would say the Kenyan viewer, first of all, you know, Kenyans are very peculiar. As I was saying, just like Michael Joseph said, it's very difficult to please Kenyans. But mostly Nairobians. These are the middle class Nairobians. I'm not talking about, because sometimes we tend to think that Nairobi is Kenya. Nairobi is not Kenya. When you look at the population, Nairobi has what, like 4 or 5 million. And we are like close to 50 million, where are the rest of the people? They're outside Nairobi. But the only challenge is that the Nairobians are the ones who probably set the trend. What you are wearing these days, what's in fashion, and then it goes across all over the country. But Nairobians, it's true, they are very, very exposed, perhaps too exposed. That's why, because by the time a new movie is coming out, a Hollywood movie, they've watched it, and then they would probably want to compare that to a local film, and without putting into consideration all these other factors and the dynamics of film. So when they are that exposed, it translates to their viewership. Because what they do, they watch Hollywood films, Netflix, and chill. That's what they do. And they go down to a guy who burns a DVD, a certain series, full season. They pay like, what, 100 bob, and they have a full season. So this person over the weekend is going to sit down and watch a full season of the new Hollywood TV series, as opposed to watching anything Kenyan. So that really affects the viewership of Kenya when it comes to local production.
For decades now, running a green grocery is a business that has been treated as feminine. However, for James Mwangi, aged 52, this has been his hustle since 2009. Now, our very own Apollo James spent time with him to know more about what it takes to start your own fruit market business and whether it is the right fit for you. Take a look.
Fruit vending is a common business in Nairobi, but do we really understand what it takes to run a business like this? So join me today in exploring the world of fruit vending. Come on with me. Mambo.
Vitu ziko poa. Biashara inaendelea vizuri eh?
Bado biashara inaendelea.
Aha.
Yeah.
So umekuwa kufanya hii biashara for how long?
Kuanzia 2009.
2009.
2009.
Aha.
Yeah.
Na imekuwaje, unaweza tuelezea venye mtu anaweza anzisha hii biashara?
Unaweza anzisha hii biashara kama sana kama usuburiwi kwa barabara na city council. Unaweza endelea vizuri. Tuseme for example umepata kipanda kama hali kama hapa hivi. Umejenga ile ya city council, unalipia kila mwezi. Hiyo sasa unaweza endelea vizuri. Lakini bila hiyo kusubuana mingi.
Na kama hii yako na unatumia mkokoteni.
Hii yangu kutumia mkokoteni. Wanahamisha. Naleta asubuhi. Jioni nafanya kurudisha mahali.
Kama hiyo ni how much hapa?
Kama ni 20 bob.
Unaweza nipatia nionze kidogo.
Yeah, unaonja. Yeah.
So unasema wewe unahamisha asubuhi?
Na asubuhi nikiamka naenda kwa soko. Alafu hapa nafika kitu kama saa 5 saa 4. Alafu naendelea mpaka jioni ya saa 1:30. Yeah.
So kawaida?
Yeah.
Wewe unaletanga boxes ngapi za maembe?
Wakati kama tuseme for example kwa wakati maembe ishakuwa mzuri. Unaweza kuwa kila siku unaleta 300, 200, 400. hivyo kila siku sasa.
Na hii biashara ulipoanzia hii biashara umeanzisha na how much?
Siku hizi unajua kuna vitu ni bei kali. Sasa tuseme for example saa hii ukianzisha ni kama ikiendelea mzuri ni kama 30 ama 20,000. Yeah.
Na kwa siku unatengeneza pesa kama ngapi?
Profit ama tuseme for example ni kama saa zingine 1,000, saa zingine 2,000. Wakati kama January hivi unaweza kuwa unatengeneza kila siku kama 2,000 ama 3,000. Hivyo sasa.
Na mbona January unatengeneza pesa mingi hivyo? Nini
jua imewaka? Na kitu kama maembe bado wakati hiyo sasa imekoma vizuri, kila mtu anakula maembe.
Na kama hii watermelon ni unajua nilikuwa nauliza unajuaje watermelon imeiva?
Watermelon kama hiyo kujua imeiva lazima iwe wewe umekaa nazo. Umejaribu kugoga hivi. Unasikiza hiyo sauti ya kwanza. Unagoga tena. Unasikia pili, unasikia kama sasa kama hiyo imeiva ama haijaiva. Unachukua nyingine. Sasa unagoga hivi unasikia kama inalia mara moja na hii. Hiyo unasikia inaliaje?
Kuna venye inalia.
Wewe mwenyewe umesikiza. Sikiza hiyo nyingine.
Hii nzito lakini.
Hiyo inaliaje? Inalia moja na hii.
Hii inalia. Hii imeiva sana, si ndio?
Sasa ndio ujue ni ukate hii na hii. Ndio sasa hii ukumbuka vile ililia. Na hii bado vile imelia.
Sasa hiyo unatumia next time.
Next time sasa unaendelea tu na kutumia hiyo sasa.
Okay.
Hata kwanza kwa ukienda bado hiyo design tu ndio utaenda nayo.
Na ni kuna changamoto gani unakuanga nazo sana kwa biashara kama hii?
Sasa ile kitu naweza sema kama for example kama wakati wa mvua ndio sasa huwezi jua hata ile unaweza kuja ukosa watu wakula matunda lakini wakati wa jua watu lazima wakule matunda.
So wakati wa mvua watu wengi wakula matunda.
Wakati wa mvua si wengi wanakula. Moja.
Na hata kwenye umeweka hii mkoteni yako niko barabara sana. Kwa sababu watu wengi wanapita hapa.
Naye sasa biashara kama hii haiwezi weka ndani sana tena. Juu lazima uweke pahali watu wanapita.
Wale ambao wako nyumbani ambao wanangoja serikali ipatie kazi. Hawataki kujituma. Wewe wito wako kwao ni gani? Kwa wale ambao wanaweza tufungue hii biashara lakini hawatafungua.
Unajua naye siku hizi kuna watu bado wanakuja hapa wananiuliza kama wanaweza weka kitu kwa barabara hivi. Alafu sasa unajua wewe kuwa mgeni, lazima uende uoga nikiweka hapa labda nitakutwa. Sasa watu wengi ile kitu wako nayo ni uoga mwingi. Juu lazima kivita hivi akuulize kama naweza weka hapa. Na unajua obvious hakuna mtu anaweza kuambia nenda weka pale. Wewe nenda weka.
Na competition like mtu mwingine akikuja aweke biashara matunda hapa kando kama wewe.
Si hata kwa soko watu uendelea. Kwa soko. Hata watu uendelea kwa soko.
Hautasikia vibaya.
Hastasikia vibaya. Nini yake ndio itamfukuza ama yangu ndio itanifukuza.
Na ni njia gani bora kupata customers?
Kitu ya kwanza ni utafute mahali mzuri, kitu tamtam. Alafu kitu ya pili ujue kuongea na customer.
Na hii ni biashara ambayo umelisha na familia kuanzia 2009.
hata wamaliza shule wengine.
University ama
form 4.
Sawa. Asante sana, tunashukuru sana.
Sawa, karibu.
Asante.
Thank you.
Mungu akubariki.
To now get sporty. Kenya Shujaa have been drawn with coach Mike Friday's USA again in the second event of the 2021 World Rugby 7 Series. Dubai 2 slated for December 3rd to 4th. Shujaa, who finished Dubai 7's 1 in position 8 with 10 points, will also face Australia and Canada in Pool B. Pool A comprises Dubai 1 winners of South Africa alongside Great Britain, Ireland and Japan, while Argentina, Fiji, France and Spain complete Pool C.
Open space, broken field. It's what Fiji love, his players strewn all over the field. Oh my word! Fiji at their very very best.
Here, not the best, or more